So if you just watched my last vlog where I'm taking the Airstream trailer to Salem, I commend you big time for going through the whole 45 minutes of the one video. If you have the time to watch the complete video, I appreciate that. I know everybody doesn't have time for that, so I'm breaking it down now. Here is part one of the Airstream to Salem. Well, good morning. It is February the 12th, and it is time for another vlog because I'm getting ready to hit the road again. I'm headed north. I'm on my way up to Portland. Yay, fun stuff. I've gotten everything loaded up. As you can see, the garage is no more stuff in the garage. It's all gone. It's all gone. That's because it's all in the back of my truck. And let me tell you, I'm really wishing I had an 8-foot bed right now, because I have that trailer actually packed inside as much as I can safely and padded with stuff. And as you can see, we have the back of the bed fully loaded in here. Actually, this is the second attempt. I tried it last night. It didn't work out so well. And then I've even got in here packed, so when I go to take my nap tonight, that's actually gonna have to go over to the front seat so I can recline my seat to take my nap. Or I may just get a hotel. That might be just as easy as well. But yeah, I've got pretty much everything loaded up. It's around 11 o'clock. I've still got some more things I want to get accomplished before I leave the house. So I'm going to go ahead and get those all taken care of, and then I'll get back to you when I'm on the road. Okay, it is Wednesday, February the 12th, and it is now like 5:30 in the evening. The sun is setting, as you can see. And I've got the trailer all hooked up. The lights are on. It's all ready to go. All safely connected. I don't like how low that is. I got to fix that before I go. That's better. But anyways, I'm getting ready to head off now. I kind of farted around today. It took me a long time to get the truck recentered, resituated, and all loaded up and all that kind of stuff. So, and then I was just like, you know what, I'm not in any hurry. Just take my time. I got another vlog done, got the house cleaned up a little bit, that kind of stuff, and spent a little time with my dog before I hit the road. So now it's time to get rolling. Somewhere north tonight, I'll stop and nap. I got to be in Wairika in the morning, and then push on into Oregon. How far I get, I don't know. I might even just take a hotel room and say screw it and get a good sleep. Who knows? But on that note, let's get hauling. Okay, so maybe leaving right at rush hour was not the brightest idea. Yeah. Traffic is stop and go. I forgot about this part. Oops. I'm so just used to leaving early in the morning that I forget about this at this time of night. This part of the freeway sucked. I should have just went down the street and across. Oh, my brain was not thinking. Yeah, well, like I said, I'm not in a hurry. I just would rather not sit in traffic, but oh well. It is what it is. How's it going?
Do we have any out-of-state firewood or produce?
No, we don't.
Appreciate it, man.
Awesome, thanks. Have a good one. Yes. No fruits or nuts or plants or anything funky like that. So we're good to go. Yep, it's that time again. I'm in Tehachapi once more. I'm at the Flying J and getting fuel. So I got 13.5 miles per gallon on the way down out of Vegas with this Nest trailer on the back, and I'm loaded too. I've got a lot of stuff in the back of the truck and everything, so I'm really not unhappy with that kind of mileage with that weight, because I think that trailer's about 4,000 pounds. I will try to actually get a scale weight when I get up in Oregon, because I can actually do that there without any problems, and then that way I'll know for sure on my weight. But what I'm going to do is, like, if you follow TFL like I do, and Toe Piglet just did it as well with his Ford and his 10-speed, check out his channel, and he's got some really good stuff about Hotshot. But anyways,
These guys are doing the actual mileage test. Now I'm going off of what my, what my trip computer says that I did, and we know that they're not 100% accurate all the time. So what I'm going to do this trip is I'm going to go to Hatchby, and my next stop will be in Stanton, where I normally stop. I will go ahead and do the whole fuel calculation versus the mileage I drove. So I'll do the reset on the trip computer, and I'll do the reset on the estimated mile per gallon for the drive. It's kind of funny how TFL does the 30-second wait time. I've always done that ever since my dad taught me that when I was young. He always said that if you're going to stop and fill the car, like on a road trip, if you're going to stop and fill the car, make sure you get as much gas in as possible. Because especially like when we used to go to Florida, you would find the cheap gas stations along the way, and that's the ones you stopped at and you filled up because you had to drive so far. And my dad always told me that. He says when it kicks off, wait half a minute. Well, he always used to say, wait a minute for the gas to settle and then top it up again. So, I mean, minute was extreme, but he would do it. He'd always do it. It's like he would count in his head and then he would top it off. And sure, it does take more fuel, because what happens is you've got all the air and all the gas fumes and everything else like that that are partially of what's kicking off the pump, because it's the pressures. What it does is it works off the pressure. So as the pressure builds up and gets closer, that's what kicks the valve and it kicks it off. So if you wait and let everything settle down in your tank, you can actually get some more in it. A couple times I've done it, I've always gotten like an extra half a gallon, maybe even, about a half a gallon is what I get in there. So I'll do that this time, and I'll measure it out, and we'll make it part of this vlog so that we can see how accurate it is. And I'm curious to see how far off it is from real world numbers, because I already know that from the factory my speedometer is off by a mile per hour, exactly 1 mile per hour. So if I set the cruise at 61, I'm doing 60. If I set the cruise at 75, I'm doing 74. So let's see what the trip computer says for the miles per gallon, if it's accurate or not. Also, I'm not shooting any of the video on the road in this part of the vlog, because it's kind of redundant to keep showing the same video all the time. When, if you've been watching my vlogs, you already know what the road's like when I go through. Plus it's nighttime, so it's kind of hard to see. If I catch anything interesting, of course I will, try to catch it on film, but I'm just not going to record that. I have yet to record north of Stanton on the 5, but it'll be nighttime, so you won't see it. And I am going to be stopping in Eureka in the morning. So I'll get some road footage after Eureka in California when I go through the mountains in Oregon. That I'll catch some road footage of. Okay, now that that's all cleared up and we know what we're doing going forward, let's get hauling. So what I want to show you is I do actually have the cruise set for 60, it's supposed to be 65, right? Because we know that my miles are, I'm 1 mile over my speed limit. What I wanted to show is that I am still just set on cruise. I have not touched the gas. I have not touched the brake. I do have a 55-mile-an-hour corner coming up. We'll ride that through because the truck will do it. But as you can see, it is down. It is slowing down. Now it's speeding back up because we did our 65. What the point is that I'm getting at, oh, this is a good hill. I don't want to do 65 up it because my tranny will shift really hard. We'll just do 60. What I was getting at on the downhill, and I'll show it on the next one, is that, or one thing I really like about this Ram is that the downshift and the speed, you know, the hill control for the speed and the transmission and the computer, and I'll do a little more research what it exactly is, but the one thing I really like about it is that it is super effective, and it works. To me, it feels like it's working like an exhaust brake. That's what it feels like. I mean, it just does the job well going down hills. Depending on the speed I set it at, and depending on the grade, sometimes I've got to go ahead and drop. Sometimes I got to go ahead and actually tap the brake, get it to drop a gear, and then it'll hold. But 9 times out of 10, it just does it on its own, and there's really no issue with it whatsoever. And that really, really impresses me. So we'll try it again. It's bumped up to 70. I have the cruise set for now. I want to do 64. So I'm going to change lanes. And it's downshifted now, and it's starting to decelerate. I don't know how well we're going to see this, but it is actually, and this is a 6% grade. So it's a pretty tough grade, but I am slowly decelerating, or at least holding this speed right now. That's the sweet spot on it is around 35, maybe 4. And I'm picking up now, so a couple taps of the brake just to get it down. And there we go. Now it downshifted, and it'll actually hold this all the way down the hill now without an issue. I just really like the hill descent control, if that's what it is, if that's what this thing really truly has. So some beautiful scenery today. It's a clear, gorgeous day. This is why I'm doing this today, because I'm trying to beat it. So, and now I'll just go ahead and hit the resume on my cruise control, and of course it accelerated, and it's going to take me back up to 65. I'm actually going to bump this down to 61 right now because we got a little bit of traffic going on.
Okay, thanks for watching that. Now, part 2 coming up.